I'm going to be teaching men and women how to give oral. I feel like there's such an embarrassment around not knowing how to do something that we just automatically shut it down or tell somebody it's wrong when you just don't know how to. So let me help you. I want to teach you how to.
Ooh, and
And
numb
then
the throat.
also doing it
You
around your
can
partner's
do that.
likings,
So.
because I can't, me teaching you to just do it, but then you do it with your husband or you do it with a boyfriend or whatever the case may be, it might not be the same for everybody.
Some of them forget that they're not in the proper hole, and they get excited, and it's just going ham. And now you gotta have not only like you're holding yourself not to fall off, right? And then you like, I just ate. Now you try to make sure you don't get. So it's so many
Yeah,
things
that's
to it.
correct.
But then I hear those that they do the numbing and then they forget that they have to breathe. So now you got another case in your hand. Now you got somebody asking you, "Are you alive?"
You
So
alive.
I've heard that there's different method to this where you could train yourself, like when you brush your teeth, like slowly go down, train yourself. Because some of us, our gag reflex are like great. I've been,
Sensitive.
yeah, very sensitive, and I'm like, man, I need to read about this. Like, can you train yourself not to have such a gag reflex? You know what I'm saying? When that happens. But like I said, but even then, like in the moment of
But a toothbrush to a penis. I don't know.
it's the length. It's not the, because gosh, there's different things that
I don't know.
could happen.
Do you practice with a dildo?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
See? Boom. She said yeah.
You say yeah?
Yeah, I mean that's, but it's your safety. It's how you feel. Because obviously, Miranda seems very uncomfortable with this. It's not her. This she don't want to
No,
do all that,
because I
and I
think that
feel
it's
you.
unrealistic. Because in reality, the dildo just stands still, and so it's not really the motion of what it would be like
So
with
how are
your
you supposed to
husband.
So
practice?
can I want to ruin your innocence a little bit, man, just a little bit, just a little
Lord,
bit.
she said,
There
I
will
know
be.
the one.
I
I
want to
know the
learn. I want
ones.
to learn.
I was gonna say not the one, but the dildos that have suctions on the butt,
Yeah,
and you stick them to a wall or however whatever you want to do,
You can?
and you move
yeah.
your neck and your throat at your pace, what works for you, I think that's very good. That's a good place to
Oh.
try and to start. Being instructed, finding a sex expert that can help you learn. I would definitely go to a professional. When I start offering classes, I'm gonna let y'all
Oh
know.
my
And I'm gonna give you the
goodness.
vouchers
Yeah.
I
because
was
I
just
want
about
to
to
see
say we
everybody in there.
should
And there's
do
so much
that.
I can learn too. There are some women who could take like the gag reflexes are not as sensitive, so
Mm-hmm.
like they deep throat. I find that to be a beautiful gift. I don't think I have it. Um,
Mm-mm.
Sorry to anybody listening to this who knows me. I don't think I have it. But I think it's a cool thing. I know women who have great throats. It's just not.
Skills. Skills. They were
Are you
blessed with
sure
the
it's just
skills.
not numbed?
No, it's not, girl.
Really?
Yeah. I seen them practice with bananas before and stuff like that, and
Really?
it's not.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
And,
how? It's
and there are
just a
ways
gift.
to there are things you can do.
Wow.
There's little tips and tricks you can do to make sure your gag reflexes aren't startled. For instance, I'm gonna give you all this freebie: curling your toes. Curl your toes is gonna help you with your gag.
What?
Throat
Oh.
up, positioning. You taking it like this, it might not work for you. The throat has to
Yeah.
be open. You have to open that neck up, girl.
There's
Open
a
the neck.
guy, he did a whole trick on like tapping your head, doing something. And once you do like the certain trick,
Oh yeah, it goes away for a little bit.
like your gag
Yeah,
reflexes leave you for a
it
little
opens
bit.
up.
I
It like
tried
opens
it
it up.
and I tried to stick the toothbrush and I was like,
Really?
oop, it didn't work. Just for me. And I was
Said,
I
"Oop,
don't
it
know.
yeah,
didn't
it
work."
didn't work. It didn't work.
I
Cause I
love
was
I
you,
don't
like,
know.
Brenda.
man, you gotta catch me on a good day. I still
I
don't
love
give
you,
up,
Brenda.
but
Amen.
you don't give
Relentless. I
up.
love it.
Oh
You don't get up.
man. I just once you said you stick the dildo on the wall, I was like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
there's the mechanical ones too that has a whole motion.
Girl, the mechanical ones go. Listen, take your time with it,
That's
sis.
what I'm
Don't
saying.
listen.
They
That's why I
have
said get the
mechanical
get the
ones?
rubber one
Yes.
You know
that
what?
has a suction
I
on
need to
it
go to a
that
sex store.
you make the movement. Don't go for the mechanical softball machine dildos where it's like a puncher just Pow, pow, pow,
Right.
pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
Listen,
Listen, you know what?
Yeah.
take
We need
your
to do a
time.
trip to the sex store because there's some things I'm
Yes,
feeling like
I
I
was gonna
don't
say a sex
know.
store.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sex stores, they
Yeah.
have great professionals in there that are gonna help you with all your needs. They understand how these toys work, what the best thing is, what you're trying to reach, what your goal is. It's like shopping for a car. It's like shopping for a pair of jeans. Now, my ladies, y'all know not all jeans are made equal. Okay, you have to try them on. You have to see what works. What's the look you're going for? Are you trying to go for a little round booty? You want
Mm-hmm.
something a little stretch in it. You want to be able to bend and pick up your baby. You want to be what are you going for? So I want you to have an open mind. If you are married, the ladies who are partnered up, go with your partner. Pick out something together. There are toys that work for both of you at the same time. One is tickling you and the other one's vibrating him at the same time. Men don't be insecure about using a toy, but also ladies don't give them a reason to be insecure. If you have never screamed, moaned, or groaned with him, but you making all the 50 noises in the world with this little toy, that might create a little bit of friction between the two of you.
Yeah.
So it's all about comfortability in your marriage and your relationship, being able to talk things
Mm-hmm.
out. And please, for the love of God, do what works for your marriage. You
Marriage.
cannot invite everybody's opinion into your marriage
Mm-hmm.
bed, especially when it comes to the affairs and the sexual needs and desires. Because somebody's going to tell you, girl, your man is cheating. That's why he wants you to wear a little mini skirt when you have sex, because that's he be cheating with a girl with a mini skirt.
With a
No,
miniskirt.
no. And then ladies would be like, oh, you know, you can't have him out here looking like that because somebody gonna try and grab him up. That's why you need to get a toy for when he leaves. It's like
Oh,
what the fuck
my
did you
goodness.
need?
Insecurities. But
You
you know
know?
what? This is exactly why um having a conversation is very important in the beginning. So I feel like,
Hmm.
when you are talking to someone, when you are getting to know someone that you feel maybe will escalate to a serious relationship or to be married with one day, whatever the story may be. I think just the same way I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite color?
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite food?
Yeah.
Uh, what is your nationality?
Mm-hmm.
What language do you speak? What does your family believe in? What's your religion background? What we have all these questions that we ask, but we never
Hmm.
talk about our sexual desires and
Yep.
to understand it.
Right.
Okay, first of all, not necessarily just your appetite, but okay, were you a victim of molestation? Were you
Yes,
raped?
that's so big.
Were you
Yeah.
raped in the past? Or how? And this is for both male and female. Like, let's not
Hmm.
lie, and make it seem like it's just women that are experiencing these things. But
Yeah.
how do you? What is your relationship with sex? Meaning, how do you feel talking about it? Are you? What is? All of these questions are things
Mm.
that I feel should be, because so many times, and I repeat it all the time. I think I've asked you that so many times. We go into a relationship with someone,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I am so happy for those that have been able to hold their virginity until they got married. Kudos to you. Some of us
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to experience that,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Or some of us have gone through divorce. So because of it, my next partner is not necessarily my first partner, but I'm bringing on the past, right, into this relationship.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So these conversation needs to be talked about, because now you're getting married to this one person that you're going to be hopefully for the rest of your life.
Right.
And that cannot be a conversation that is not put on the table. Even when you get married to them, after a while, you got to figure out, okay, well, babe, are you enjoying what we're doing? Like, is this
Mm.
making you feel good? Because part of me being submissive to you, for these women that believe in that, which I do too, is
Right.
wanting to make sure that I am pleasing you every single time.
Right.
Amen.
I'm cooking the best meal in the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
because you like steak or you like cook food or cook meat,
Hmm.
Right.
right? I am cleaning the house because you love walking into this home that, after a long day of work, it smells good, it's clean, the kids are taken care of if you have any
Mm.
kids. Or if not, I have set the mood, I have set the tone for you to come home and to relax and to unwind.
Is this like you're getting home at the same time as him?
Not necessarily. It could be vice versa. It could be he's doing it,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you got a maid or whatever. But no
Yeah.
matter what, I am setting the tone for that person
Mm-hmm.
that I say I love.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that I cannot set that same tone in the bedroom for you?
Right.
Babe, what are you desiring today? Because maybe he just want to be touched. Maybe I just want to be touched. Maybe we want to make love. Maybe we want to rough it up tonight. You know what I mean? Like, can we have that conversation? Because a lot of times that we women make this mistake, I'm tired. And every day I'm tired. And every day I'm taking care of the kids. I'm taking care of that. Now, I do understand that a man needs to be responsible and finding ways maybe to alleviate some of this work that as women we get, right? So that the woman is not as tired. But what if this is just an excuse? Because maybe the woman is not finding pleasure with their husband in that manner. So that's their reason. That's the way of saying I don't feel like it tonight. But like, it's an everyday thing. I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? But we're not sitting down to talk about why you're not feeling like it. And you're like, I don't know. That's not helpful to the other partner. So to me, I feel like it needs to be a conversation. We are talking about paying bills. We're talking about how we're going to allocate whatever it is we need to allocate. We're talking about the next vacation. We should be able to talk about
They need to talk about
that.
booking an appointment with Kayla. That's what we need to
Right?
start talking.
Come on, Kayla. I need you to hurry up with that too.
They need to start talking about where's their sex coach within their city, most likely. Because
People,
I do feel like a lot of them don't research that
Right.
yeah.
because they're embarrassed. One, but not just that, they're already embarrassed. So I view it as this: if you're already embarrassed on probably a bit of insecurities within your bedroom, then what's wrong with now getting some help?
Well,
Because
people don't know that people like me exist. Do you know how many people have been like, yeah, I'm a future intimacy and wellness coach. And like, what's that? I'm like, okay, in layman terms, I'm a sex coach. What's that? And I was like, I help you reach your sexual goals and within your marriage.
Wow.
And it's like, somebody listens to that. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Somebody wants to help you without judgment. And people are so used to going to a pastor who tells them, oh, you can't do this and y'all better watch out, or awful advice or no advice at all, that having somebody, your own therapist or your counselor, because there's sex therapists too.
Right.
And just like having a regular therapist, a sex therapist is going to help you with the trauma. And that
Mm.
is one thing. I will be trauma trained. However, I am not a therapist. I am a counselor. So there's only so much I can really do. But going further, another reason why I feel like it's hard for people, and Myrna, you brought up a great point, talking when you first date. What have you been through? What are your struggles? How do you view things and why?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of men who've been molested by women before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
either they have an aversion to a certain type of woman, or they have this sometimes unexplainable draw to this certain type of woman. And
Mm.
it's just like with us. It's just like with us. When we've been molested or raped, or in a situation where a man is taking advantage of us, if he looks a certain way, there's a smell, right? We go by that, or what he said. If he calls us a pet name, anybody else in the future who calls us that pet name, it's like, ooh, triggered, triggered, triggered.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's like we need to talk about those things, right?
Right.
If and I know last time I was with you guys, I spoke about the top four issues or topics that come up when people speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Understanding and talking about desires. A lot of the time when a partner expresses, "Hey, I want to be choked. I want to be choked in the bedroom," and a woman tells her husband, like, "Babe, I want you to choke me." If that man has seen somebody abuse his mama or his
Mm.
sister or another woman in his life,
Yeah.
sometimes him choking you, sis, it will be very hard for him.
What if he was the abuser?
Or that, coming out of a place where he might be re-triggered. Like,
Exactly.
man, I had put my hand around my ex-wife's neck. I went to jail for it. I do a whole program, and now I'm remarried, and this woman wants me to choke her.
Right.
Right.
It can be triggering. But this is why we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about
Exactly.
this.
Mm-hmm.
We need to talk about if somebody had taking advantage of you in your school uniform. So me asking for you to put on your little schoolgirl uniform and do a little twerk for me, it's triggering to you. You can't
Mm-hmm.
go back there. And this is why conversations are important. And I
Yeah.
can't tell y'all how many people and couples I know that have sexual traumas and triggers, that years into their marriage don't tell their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Years later. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, why don't you want to do this with me? Oh, I just don't. Or
Yeah.
it's like they shame the spouse for wanting and having that desire.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of her or him just saying, babe, I was abused. I don't know how to tell you, but I was abused or somebody took advantage of me. Um, it comes into, well, why do you always want to have sex with me anyway? What's wrong with you? You're so horny all the time. Instead of me just saying, I was abused.
My God.
And your desire for wanting my body makes me uncomfortable because I'm still uncomfortable with my body. I don't find
Yes.
myself
Right.
pretty. I
Yes.
don't find myself desirable.
Exactly.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
like looking at me. I
Right.
hate my body because some man took advantage and took away the innocence and the beauty that God has already given me. And I know women in my family struggling with this.
Yes.
And it breaks
Mercy.
my heart every time because it's real.
It's
Y'all,
real.
it's
Yeah.
so real.
It's
It's
Yeah.
it's
real.
deep.
No,
It's really deep.
it's deep, and that's why even looking up the definitions of a sex therapist and a sex coach, I think we spoke about this as
Yeah.
like just as friends. I was like, I didn't even know there was a difference.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So once I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. And I truly believe, and I know that we spoke about this in the recap, it's very important, I think, for pastors to have a sex talk within their training, within their curriculum. It is one of the most important factors of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's such a big part of it that if you don't do it properly, you'd be surprised how many people are suffering within their marriage because of the lack of
Suffering.
suffering. And then you'll be surprised
Yeah.
about how many people are suffering as single people because of the trauma. Because they don't
Yeah.
know that
Yes.
their regular therapist might not be trained as that. You might have to go to a sex PTSD
Right.
Yes.
therapist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know, it's
crazy.
like there's
Yeah.
different ones. So even for that, I think I had a friend say no, like there's different types. There's certain traumas that a therapist will say, that's not my expertise. You have to go to a PTSD person because this is way more. Like this is deeper because too many things can cause issues now. You know, and I think the most important thing is in premarital counseling and as your own individuals. And I personally want to put this out there, okay? Some people think that healing is linear
Ooh, child,
and
it's
they have
not.
that misconception like come to me healed. When somebody tells me
Oh my
come to
God.
them healed,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I look at them like, "Oh, I don't think you've tackled your stuff."
Yes.
So I might trigger you into looking inward at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They're not most of the time they're not healed
They're
themselves.
not even healed
Yeah.
themselves. And if we understood that it takes a village to help us get through,
Yeah.
that's your spouse as well. I appreciate someone willing to want to heal, willing
Exactly.
to want to go through the process, you know, and it's something that you talk about in dating. Have you gone to therapy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any way, sense of form? Because the moment I hear stories on, oh, like this parent left me, or my mom worked so much, never home. There's so many issues. I'm like, have you addressed these childhood issues? Because a lot of our adult issues is from
Our
childhood.
child, they start their
It is.
childhood.
They start very young with getting molested, with getting raped. A lot of it starts when you were at your most vulnerable and someone stole that from you.
Yes, verbal abuse is real.
I feel
Even.
I feel like someone that tells me to come to them healed does not love me in the first place.
No.
That's me. Because I could tell you personally for me all of the different things that I've experienced. Because I've experienced domestic violence. I've experienced the verbal. I've experienced the rape. I've lost a child through. I've gotten pregnant through rape and then lost a child. You know what I'm saying? So I could tell you the different feelings that I've had. So for someone to think that, oh, you need 5 years to heal from this, and I think that there's going to be triggering words, just like Kayla said, a touch, you know, somebody's touch, or you know what's crazy? Even someone simply like
winking at you,
just a simple wink brings you back. So it's not even that I didn't want to heal. It's just because I'm taken back to this experience that I've been running away from. So for me, it's, you know, and this is why I do not down our pastors. I think our pastors are here because they're here to lead the congregation. But just like I won't go to my pastor for heart surgery, I'm not going to go to my pastor if I have a toothache and I need it pulled. I feel like respectively we have people that God have placed on this earth. You could pray about it, that you go and seek the help that you need. Why am I not able to meet my husband in this manner?
Yeah,
and when it comes to the bedroom, because we sit down and have marriage counselor, or we sit down have, you know, whatever it is we do with our with the pastor before we get married, and they're just focused about us being unequally yoked, right?
Yeah.
Which can be anything, by the way.
Right.
That is
So
not
that's the
just
only conversation.
spiritual.
Now we want to see, is that person of the same background with you? And now we're talking about, are they the same religion? You know, and things like that. And so we lose so much more that comes into the realness of a marriage, you know, and it has so many different, you know, rooms
And
in the
components,
marriage, right?
yeah.
And components. So to me, I feel like, okay, when it comes down to having that type of conversation, now, of course, we have some pastors that are very much open and they're well educated to be able to bring all of these topics. So now if you know that you're dealing with that pastor, now go for it. But if
Right.
you're dealing with the holier than thou, very extremists that will tell you that going down on your wife is a sin and you're going to go to hell, first ticket. You know, now we have a problem. So because now first of all, you're already putting me in a box in my own marriage. Mind you, a place that you're not gonna take part of. Because I'm not inviting you to my bedroom. So now you're telling me how to conduct myself in my bedroom.
Exactly.
And mind you, these pastors can be telling you what they gotta tell you because they have to hold an image to themselves, but in their bedroom, they're doing whatever they gotta do. Man, some of these pastors that were telling their wife and husbands not to do certain things, they were abusing their wife, they were raping their wife. So we got to remember that at the end of the day, they're men. They're
like,
you know, they don't have
they're
all
human.
the answers.
Yeah.
They're human beings. So go to the right source for the right question.
No, it's true. And I think as a couple in dating or in premarital or even in the marriage, it's excellent to go talk with someone.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yes.
it doesn't have to be your marital friends. It does not have to be family members.
Right.
Go talk to a professional. You know, and that's why I say healing isn't linear. It's not.
It isn't.
I can go a
isn't.
whole year and be absolutely fine and something triggers me.
Yes.
And now the person's like, but you were fine the whole year. And now look at you.
Oh, the person I met is not the person I got married to.
Right?
What?
And then you're looking at them like, you know what? I'm having a moment. And especially if the person, whether it's a man or a woman, is taking their time to open up to you.
Yeah.
And they're having a vulnerable moment. Once you shut that down at the beginning, it'll be very hard to open that person back up again.
Yeah.
You know, especially if they're taking their time to open up a bit of self-doubt, a bit of self-awareness on certain things. Don't attack that as ammunition for the next argument. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you're already struggling within the bedroom, like why put more struggle on top of it? You know, and just like how we mentioned before, some couples are in long distance marriages, and there's just so much attack on marriage. We see it through social media. We see it through politics. We see it through so much right now. There's this heavy attack on marriage. And the thing is, just like we said before, and I said this in the recap, a lot of us are scared to bring the Holy Spirit within our bedrooms.
I was just gonna say something too. Sin is a thief, right? It's like a thief. It just sprinkles into any situation without you realizing it. And I think sometimes the conversations are not brought up, even in friendship context. Like, for example, Kayla is right here. She's a beautiful woman, right? And yeah, she's a gorgeous woman, woman
Sure
to woman,
is.
saying it, gorgeous woman. And there she is married. And who knows, like other women are listening. I don't want her to give my man advice because now my man's going to be like, man, I want to know what tricks she got up her sleeves because clearly she's a sex coach and she must know how to do this, that, and the third. So now me, who's not sure of myself, who maybe does not think that I'm as beautiful as Kayla is looking and things like that. Now you think I want to go to her and tell her to tell me and my... Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes, I mean, do you have people that come to you that way that...
It goes both ways. Girl.
It goes both ways, I feel like. Yeah.
I have the women who are like, girl, you so pretty and you married. I want to know what you do to keep your man. I want to know da-da-da-da.
Right.
And then there's a, look at you. You look like my husband's type, so we're not even going to come to you. And it's just like...
Mercy.
My goodness.
I don't want him though. It takes two to tango. But okay. It's okay. But it's like I'm not here to make you feel better about coming to me. You have to, once again, remember, y'all, I told you I don't get into married folk business. I'm not here to tell you why you need to come to me. I need you to come willingly. I'm not going to drag you because we're already in a touchy subject. It's crazy when he reveals he doesn't like when you give him head because you use your teeth. And now I have to teach you how to not use your teeth on him. Now, granted, like for anybody listening, I do not perform tricks and tips on the couples. I'm going to say it again because I've gotten this question more than once.
Really?
People have been like, oh, so do you watch us do it and direct us? No, I do not. Or do you do it on me and then she follows? No, I definitely do not.
Yeah.
But there are people
that do.
Okay, so there is a documentary currently right now on Netflix, and they actually show you different. Well, all right. Well, I don't even know if it's that explicit to that extent, but it shows different couple, different age, different era, and then it's just helping them rediscover themselves. I'll send it to you later so you can kind of have an idea what I'm talking about. So I get the idea because in one of the instructors were showing the other partner what it would be like if they did it this way versus that way. Now, of course, it's not in the United States because I don't think it's legal.
It sounds European.
It's in Europe.
Yeah,
okay. In Europe. But then can you imagine if this was the case and I would be like, all right, Hadasha, when you get married and I get married, what you said, your husband said you don't do, come on, I'm going to show you real quick how to do it. Now, this is like
there are
people
like who do that here in America. I am just, my main PSA is I am not that instructor, y'all. Okay, that's a lot of people ask me all the time, like, no, that's not how. And then they're like, well, you better be good at doing this and doing that if you're going to teach people how to do it. Y'all, everybody's body is not the same. So it does, I know I can teach you the instructions, right? Like a Pilates instructor.
Yes.
They can teach you how to stretch, how to bend. But if she is about 120 pounds wet, okay, there's only so much maybe her body and how she does it is going to look compared to mine. So she is teaching me in general and how to do it in a general stance. But maybe she has to personalize the class, personalize the workout for my body and my needs. So it's like, no, one size does not fit all. No. I am not the throat goat to every man in the world. No.
I
Not how
got
that
you.
works. Like, it
Right.
does not work like that. So this was more like a PSA for people who always ask about me and what I do and what I help with. I definitely cannot wait to cut, like, start everything, but I will have personalized curriculum for your body, for your body type,
Mm,
for your desires.
I
When
like
we
that.
first start, I will give you an assessment where you fill that out thoroughly. I'm not talking about a little one page letter. No, I'm talking about a booklet that I'm going to need from each of my clients because I
Mm-hmm.
take clients as couples where you give that to me and I
Mm.
see what you need and what your communicational patterns are, what your sexual patterns are. And we are going to get downright dirty and we're going to get clean too. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a factor of we're going to go to places where maybe it's a little hard. All I am is a middle person helping the communicational aspect, right? Just like in therapy, when it's like, well, I want her to wear this more. And she's like, well, I want him to clean this more. And it's like all the therapist does is say, hey, you help in this aspect. Why are you budging? Let's figure out why you don't want to clean it. Let's figure out why
Mm,
you don't want to wear the clothes. And we come up with a system and a plan
right.
and the answers and we facilitate that and we orchestrate that and we make it flow, right? That's what I do.
Nice. I
Like with
love
sex.
it.
That's
I love it. Because no, there was a movie on that, and that scene was hilarious. I think these couples went to a sex retreat,
Mm,
and and the instructor was showing them exercise moves, but the exercise moves were also quite sexual.
Oh wow.
mm-hmm,
So they had to. So he's showing what to do with the woman on how to like position her. Like you have to do it like this, and the guy's like, "Not on my wife," you know.
yo,
so so I think it's like to each their own. You know, it's what fits you as a
Yeah.
couple. And I love it when you say stay out of married people's business. Some people like to bring an extra person in.
they
I'm
do.
turning my head around. That's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it.
Why don't
Um
you agree with it?
for me not agreeing with it now, I feel like that's a bit of adultery because we didn't make a vow with this person. There's
Mm-hmm,
no commitment to that person where this was sanctified between us, between a covenant,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're bringing somebody else in.
mm-hmm,
You know, and while that might have been your past before me, if we discuss this in dating and you bring it up again in marriage, I'm going to remind you what I said in dating.
Right.
Like I told you before you put on this ring that I said no threesomes.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
So if this was your thing and you that you still wanted to do it, I'm bringing in the oil, baby. Sorry, we're praying about this tonight because
Mm-hmm.
because it's not something that I would want within my bedroom. I feel like it's a gateway. There are certain things for me. I feel like it's a gateway. You know how they say there's a gateway drug? Like this
Mm-hmm.
could lead to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it veers off where you have swingers and swinger parties. And then now
Yeah.
the person that you're
Lifestyle
with
parties.
just it just can't they don't satisfy you now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's like
Let's like you
taking
need
it to
somebody
the
else.
extreme big time. I
Right.
think that I still respect the I still respect the union of marriage and what marriage stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
personally to me, I feel like that is something I would call sexual
Immorality.
immorality for me to bring a third party to my bedroom. First and foremost, why do you feel the need to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going to talk in context of biblical, right? I think that I don't even think God would be in approval of that. Personally, I do feel like no. I mean, I'm married to you. I said yes to you. I said I do to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to invite a third, fourth, fifth, whatever party to the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think that in that context, if we're talking about it, that shouldn't even be a conversation with whomever you're, unless you're taking someone, I know it's taboo to say from the world, but unless you're taking someone that has no foundation, like Christian foundation, I think that's when it's invited. Because I mean, like I said, there's just certain things that shouldn't even be of question. Can I bring
Right.
someone? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
But one thing I wanted to ask you, Kayla, as we're wrapping up a bit,
mhm.
um, the beauty of romanticizing your life in the waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And the waiting,
In the waiting.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. The beauty of romanticizing you while you're celibate, because I'm very open and honest when it comes to being celibate. I hate it.
Girl,
Some people
say it
act like
again.
it's a, oh, this is I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's not my thing. But here I am, So
Mm-hmm.
so now it's romanticizing you
Mhm.
while not performing sexual immorality acts. How do you bring that romance to yourself so that you're still ready for when that next partner comes? So you're not like a stiff board, like, ooh, it's been a minute,
You
you know?
know, I've been doing it because I hate it with a passion. But what I've been trying to do is little things like, um, I know it sounds crazy, but getting a massage done or
Mm-hmm.
going for pedicure, manicures,
Mm-hmm.
literally buying myself clothes or making myself like getting my hair done,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
dressing up nicely, making sure my face is on point.
Mm-hmm.
I and the way I walk with heels on versus flats. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that I've learned to do these things just to bring the sexy out of me, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not necessarily that I'm trying to get into the bedroom, but just
Right.
make smelling good, the perfume, the way I
Mm-hmm.
smell, the way I groom myself, literally like shaving,
Mm-hmm.
Waxing.
you
The
waxing,
way you wash yourself.
the way I wash myself. And I've been more conscious and taking the time
Mm-hmm.
to even do it without any sense of urgency. Like if I go and take a shower, I'll have my scrub. I have all the things that I for my routine.
Mm-hmm.
I do it as if I would do it to prepare myself for bed if I was married, but now I'm doing it for myself. And
Right.
it does something to me doing it that way. It just to me is so sexy. And it's not because I'm about to do anything. I'm probably about to lay down and pass out or watch YouTube for a few hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's literally the emotion that comes with what I just did.
Right.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And if I can say something as a married woman, don't stop this
Mhm.
sexy me time, because I can tell you I do it all the time, and not because I'm married. Like, yeah, I put Diddy can sit down somewhere. It's about me, right?
Mm.
Because I have to love on me, or else I
Mm.
can't give him me. I
Exactly.
can't give him
Mercy.
a broken, unloved version of me. I got to give him the pure Kayla who loves herself, because I can't perform. I can't feed him. I can't take care of his child. I can't want to wash the dishes. I can't want to dress him up and buy things for him if I don't first love me and I don't feel appreciated. There are days I did a whole thing with myself for a week where I wore lingerie for a week, y'all, in the house to cook and to clean. That
Mm-hmm.
was not for him. That was not for him. That was for me. Because I've come through body shame and body dysmorphia and insecurities with my looks,
Mm-hmm.
especially post baby, and post two pregnancies, one child, one miscarriage, and it's just like trying to find the joy in loving yourself and what you look like again.
Mm.
And it's like, this is an ongoing thing. Even when the man comes, you still have to romanticize yourself. You still have to take yourself out on dates. I have self care Fridays. Now, that's every week, okay? Every week, because I believe I deserve at least one day out of the week, especially
Mm-hmm.
for my moms out there. Y'all already know the
Yeah.
babies, they get everything, they
Yes.
get every day. You at least deserve one day. And so I do something nice for me. I'm just getting to a place where I like my body. I am
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
28 years old and I'm only now liking my body. And
Girl.
you would have thought I would have loved my body at 145 pounds. No, I am now loving my body at 185 pounds. And it's just like, it took me a minute because I had to have an appreciation. And this is why I know Myrna always jokes about it. This is why I brought up the factor of me and these mirrors. It took a while to get me here. And now that I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
y'all are stuck with me because not only have I loved myself correctly, I've allowed myself to be loved correctly. And I've allowed Didier to love me correctly. Thanks
Mm.
to the love and affirmation I get from my man. I remember post Denzel when we were dating, we were engaged and things like that. He would buy me clothes. Y'all, you should have seen the little skimpy Fashion Nova outfits this man wanted me to wear. And it wasn't like it was like dental floss. It was just a factor of maybe it's a little cut or there was a little slit in it or it
Right.
was a little short. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh no. Two things I said oh no to. One, because I'm like, these people know me in Orlando as the preacher. I cannot be dressing like this. And then two was, I don't like my body. I don't like the way I look.
Yeah.
And now
Mm.
Mm.
I'm the one be like, babe, look what I bought for me. And he's like, yeah, that's great. And it's like, I'm only this way though, because somebody did not stop loving on me.
Mm.
Somebody did not stop loving on this body that made a whole human twice. Like somebody did not
And
stop.
say it again.
And
Yeah.
so if there's anything I can tell you, I can proclaim the importance, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
of loving on you through
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
season, single season, motherhood season,
Mm-hmm.
engaged season, I got a man season, all the seasons you need to love on you.
Mm-hmm.
And this brought me to the conclusion of why I have mirrors everywhere
But let me
because
say
I
this
enjoy
because I know we're closing.
I want her to explain the
She's
mirrors.
28 and she's now have learned to love herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 and I'm still learning. So you'll see I
mm,
wear black a lot because it hides, then you'll go shopping for the latest what you call those corsets, girdle, whatever it is.
oh
So you
shapewear.
Yeah.
shapewear just to make sure. So yeah, so I'm just saying it for those that are like older and they're thinking, well, she's 28. Yeah, and
Right.
maybe but there's some of us are maybe older than even me
Mm-hmm.
and they still don't know how to love their body. And yes, it's a constant reminder that somebody else tells you how beautiful you are.
Right.
And I got to tell myself that in the mirror after, so many other things that I tell myself, right? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
say it. And then, of course, personal to me, certain things I will definitely still tweet, finding ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not an easy thing. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. And that's why that's not linear either.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
not.
not.
And the reason why it's not linear is because one day you're young, everything is firm, tight in the right spot. Next day you're having a kid, things are going from left to right. And then now you got to get like specialty, a nice little sexy bra to put everything back
Yeah.
and
Yep,
up.
girl, because they go left to right when you lay on your back. They just go,
Left,
Wherever they
right.
want.
And then if you're
They
in
have
doggy
no
style,
they're
God
no
forbid.
respect of person. They're
Yo, and then if
just
you're
fresh.
Yo, and then if you're in certain bedroom positions, like in doggy style, you're looking at your gut, like, oh,
My
suck it in,
God.
suck it in, suck it in, and you're
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
and you're self-aware and you're self-conscious about it. And then it's like, and then now you go to another season of self-love again, right? You're like, oh, I'm loving on me. And then something else pops up.
Yeah.
So it's so important to, of course, marry someone that is patient and loving and understands, oh, she's going through her little dip again, and it's important for you to be like, no, let me get out of this. I'm
Yeah.
loved, I'm good. Put your affirmations up, put it on your phone, put it on your
Mhm.
screensaver, put it wherever you have to go. Find yourself a girl group.
Yeah.
Okay, a girl group that will show you motivation
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
so you can now be disciplined. Because the discipline work, that's on you.
Yeah.
So it's like, surround yourself with that proper village.
Right.
So like, no, girl, you're good,
Yeah.
you got this, you're okay, your husband loves you, you're in your head, get out of your head. And because we can get stuck there, our mind is a powerful tool.
Mhm.
And for all the women listening, for all the men listening to, you're beautiful people. You are
Mm,
wonderfully made, even after
yes,
the baby.
yes.
Like you are absolutely wonderfully made. You are intricate. Okay. So it's like putting everything all together. I think it's a beautiful thing, and when we get into these type of conversations about masturbation, self-love, and all these things coming together, the whole point is to detox yourself of the negative,
Yes.
and to fill yourself back up again. Because
Mhm.
I'm at a point in my life where if I listen to somebody, just like we said, if they view the cup half empty, I can't be around you for a long time, whether that's
Yes.
friendship, whether that's family. If we're dating, thank God for the red flag now. I need to be with somebody who views themselves as Psalms 23. My cup runneth
Come on,
over.
Psalms 23.
Okay. I need you to view yourself as your cup runneth over. Okay. Your blessings, your love, your joy. And you know what can run over too? Your sadness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your sadness and your depression as well.
Yeah.
So then now
Yes.
it's making sure that someone comes in and say, no, surely good and mercy shall follow us.
Yes. Come on. We will pray for
Surely
today.
good and mercy shall follow us. Pray for your partner if they're going through a dip right now, or like a low season, a low vibrational, thing right now. If the bedroom is not as hot as you would want to and you're deprived right now, pray about it and then go seek help.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
where we
In that
get
order.
the sex coach from. Pray about who you should go see.
Just like your regular therapist, just
Just
like
like
your
your regular
doctor, just like
therapist.
your
Just,
dentist, just
yo,
like your hairstylist, everything. You need to do your research. You need to study about
yes.
them. And I am telling y'all not from a place of I've never been, but because I've been there before. And this would be, we can make this another topic for another day, but the importance of praying for your spouse. I
Mm,
can't tell you how many women I hear talking about, well, my man better pray for me. But girl, do you pray for him? Do you know how to pray so you can pray
yes.
for him? Because there are so many times I feel personally that God has placed me in a position where I am the one praying and fasting in this family on behalf of my husband. I am making
Mm-hmm.
sure his mind is covered as a black
Mm,
man in America. I am making
yes.
sure that he feels loved. I am making sure that not only am I asking God to guard my heart and protect me, but I'm also asking God to guard and protect him from the
Amen.
things maybe that he does not even know he's gone through, and the triggers that he is unaware of, and it's just, it's so much. It is so much. And sex is not the only aspect that can kill your marriage, but it
Mm-hmm.
is one of the ones that do.
Right.
Okay, it's not the main one, but it's one of the ones for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of not just being able to give good head and ride good eggplant and throw it back every now and then and throw it in a circle. But also, girl, what that mouth do? Does it do more than cuss, complain, be sassy? Do we know how to pray to? Do we know how to encourage and uplift?
Mm-hmm.
Our partners need all the affirmations that we need. If you need to be told
Yes.
you're beautiful, there's a good chance he needs to be told he look good too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I am in this revelation of a journey where I'm allowing God to show me my husband's heart and reveal what his needs are that he might not speak up and tell me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that is making our intimate moments more intimate. That is
Right.
making everything more beautiful because me and my man talk about what you can't regularly say and tell people because you don't have a safe space to do so, you
Mm.
know, and just trying to be that listening ear and just create intimacy on different levels. I think last episode we did speak about the different types of intimacy. you know? And just being really cognitive of that, being really self-aware of
Right.
creating pockets of intimacy with the two of you that does not always surround itself around sex. It can be simple. It can be so simple. Just to
Mm,
heighten your senses around each other and make yourself more aware.
yeah.
Don't stop dating.
Th-
Don't do it.
that's
Don't
it
stop dating.
right there. I
Don't
think
do
what
it.
happens in marriage, we lose interest. What interested us, now we're losing it, and it shouldn't be. Ask him about his day. So what are you doing now? Just like how a little girl goes up to his dad, Daddy, what are you doing? What are you doing now? How about now? What are you doing tomorrow? Can I come? You know what I'm saying? Like it's that same feeling that they love because someone's showing interest in them.
Hmm. They like your
Show
friends.
him interest. That's what made him go
Hmm.
after you in the first place because of that.
Show her interest, man. Show
Yes.
her interest.
Yes. You know what I'm
Be
saying?
open minded.
Be open minded.
And I think that's what's happening to some of us. We get into relationship and then we lose this spark that we had and we're no longer open minded. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I feel like whoever you choose as your partner is one that you should be as comfortable making mistakes with as you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
are doing the best. Like not having to always look your best and to do your best and to like just being able to do things that you are learning together, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I think that this is very important. Be open minded. And I think that that will carry over. I think it's so beautiful that you thought to even ask God to show you the secrets of your husband's heart so that you I mean this is just another level of I love this man so much that you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to be all of that to him and
Right.
then some. And it's also showing where you're not selfish as well. And I think a lot of times we are, especially us women. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about me, and my desire and what I want. And we forget that these men also are carrying a huge load. And let me tell you, I there's a lot of men out there that are not pulling their weight, and I get that. But I'm gonna speak on behalf of those that are good men.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm.
find this woman and now all you worrying about is yourself because now maybe you're comparing to others or whatever the story may be, coming to a point where you can now say to God, Lord, show me the 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 secret request and of my husband. What is it that he's asking right now that he may be afraid of telling me right now? I think that is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I, you know, earlier this year, I mean, you know this, I was in a 7 week journey. And towards the end of the 7 weeks, God told me to write down what I wanted in a man. And I never made a list before, right? Because I never dreamt of a wedding before. I've always dreamt of like owning businesses and this
Yeah.
and that. So I never really cared about that. So then when I really sat down in my 30s now, and I'm like, yeah, well, what does Hadasha want or need? And now I can answer it through experience.
Mm.
I think 2 weeks after I wrote that list, I said, oh, okay, God, show me and create in me a new heart to appreciate this man when I see him.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him through fear.
Yeah.
And even though fear is there, help me through that. You know, may we appreciate each other's vulnerabilities. And I wrote the list and I said, all right, God, now that I wrote the list, now I know the work needs to be done within me. Because what I'm asking for, I need to be able to handle it. Because a lot of us
Right.
pray, he gives us our blessings and we fumble it. Some people don't like that word, but no, there are people that get brought into your life. You do fumble, whether it's you that's doing it or they're the ones that are, you know. And it's just asking God about grace, about favor, because this year I told my mom, I said I want a Proverbs 31 husband.
Mhm.
And she's like, a Proverbs 31 husband. So my dad is there like, isn't that about a woman?
Yeah, Hadasha's always switched. Now these men are gonna come after us like these women always want to make us women.
No, no. It means this man created a space and an environment where she was able to
For me to
blossom.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a trust level there. She went in a field and bought it. He wasn't there. That trust level, those discussions were made beforehand, and he trusted her enough to where you got this, babe.
Ooh, girl.
You know,
appreciate it.
and when he sat with his friends and he said, "Look at my wife," he was proud. You know what I'm saying? So because he created that space, because he was secure within himself, he's confident with himself, you made him secure within himself. You made him secure with you, that he can trust you. You reassured him, he reassured you. So now there's this environment where both of you guys can blossom. And we do have that where it says detox and blossom, you know, because when I spoke about it, mom is like, oh, well, I can say I had someone that allowed me to grow within my marriage. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell people, I'm like, no, I want a Proverbs 31 husband. They're like, what? What's that? And I'm like, the environment in which he's inviting me to step into.
He's setting up the table.
He's setting up the
preparing a
table.
place.
He's preparing
Yeah,
a
he's getting
place.
it ready for you.
He's getting it ready. And now I'm coming in and I'm making it a home.
Yeah. Talk about it.
You know, and that takes the wisdom and the understanding that God says in Proverbs that we have to wrap around our necks. You know, within our minds, that we have to bring to each other and encourage each other to grow, you know, and I feel like that's what detox is all about. And this discussion was all about that too. And we can't wait for a detox cafe,
Yeah.
which is coming up, which is for 3 days,
Oh boy.
and sexual healing. So we're ending this whole thing with sexual healing, and where we're getting into how to heal from affairs, how easy it is to get into an affair, the effects it has on the family. We're talking about
Another copy. But this
yeah.
time it's going to be those that are watching can actually join.
yes,
So you could come to End Time Sabbath Worship Center at 2150 Bringo Avenue in Orlando, Florida.
You
and
better
join
know
in the
that address,
conversation.
girl. Come
Yes,
on.
girl. Come and join so that you could be present in the room while we're having this discussion.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a very interesting weekend, and all of us coming together, and we're excited about it. And you know, we are just so grateful for you,
Yes.
Kayla, and we're grateful for your husband for allowing us to borrow you.
Y'all are great. Y'all are
During
great. I
this
love
time.
being here. Thank you for creating a safe space for me to share, for me to pour my heart, for me to be myself, for me to be authentic, and for me to be able to reach out and touch somebody else who could be going through this too. So
Yeah.
thank you, Jen.
Yes, absolutely. And we are so excited. So next time on Detoxified Podcast, when we're here again, we can't wait. The topics are going to get hotter. And again, if you have
Hotter.
topics that you want us to talk about, please comment, call us. You know, I see some people are shy to comment, and then they talk to us about it in silence
On the side, yeah.
on the side,
Be like
and they're
that.
like, is it wrong to send like nude pics and like a whole bunch of stuff like that? So we're gonna squeeze that into Detox Cafe as well. But we're just so excited to have you here, and I would like to thank my beautiful host
Yeah.
for joining me.
Very beautiful. Girl, 40 where?
Right.
Yeah, right. You start
3
saying
kids wear.
Three kids are 40 where? My God.
Wear. The beauty of being
Yeah.
black.
beauty of being a black woman.
Amen.
Yeah, but thank you again. We are so, I don't know, I don't have words to say how thankful I am to have been in this space with you as well, and Hadasha creating this platform. Because at the end of the day, it's okay for those that like to walk around stiff as if nothing is happening. But I like to be myself, and I like to address
Yeah.
topic of conversation that when I go and lay my head down, I wonder, man, is it okay? Or are other people feeling the same exact way? And I always said this, and I will finish by saying this. Your journey is not yours. It is yours to talk about so that you can inspire and move someone else.
Yes.
So those that are holding their journey hostage when God allowed you to go through it for the purpose of a testimony, and now you're trying to look like you're better than others because now you graduated or you have some type of degree or you could speak in such an eloquent way that you don't want to show the thug you used to be or the killer used to be or the abuser used to be or the one that was masturbating every night to go to bed.
Facts.
At the end of the day, I like to be real, and with everything, it does not make me less than a Christian.
Exactly.
It's just showing that all of us need to talk about it so we could change it and then pray about it so that the Holy Spirit can completely make this transformation that He can do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, we just like to end with saying Christ came to heal and then preached the gospel.
Yeah.
So happy healing.
Happy feeling.
Happy healing. And thank you to everyone for joining in. This was fun. And until next time.